Hello. Abdul Rahman, did you say something? We can't hear you. Okay, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. You are right.
Okay, great. So let me share my screen. Okay. So today we will discuss how we can design a notification system. Uh, so notification system is like probably आप लोग already पता होगा कि notification system जो है it's like a system where you can send push notifications to some users or devices. So this can be like there can be multiple types of notifications, like these can be mobile notifications, email notifications, or some push notifications from some apps from Apple Store or some other apps. So there can be different kind of push notifications. So here are a few examples. Like यहाँ पे you can see these are the push these are the push notifications from apps. These are the notifications from through SMS. These are the notifications from email. So we need to design a notification system that is highly scalable. Just a second. Yep, we just don't we want to build a notification system that is scalable because it's not like we need a notification system that can only send a few notifications a day. We need a scalable system that can send millions of notifications per day because we can have a lot of different devices and a lot of different types of notifications, right? But this uh, okay, I think Abdul Rahman, there is an issue with your speaker probably. Okay, so before we can design the notification system, we need to understand the problem, right? So like this happens in all of your system design interviews that you need to first design the scope of your system and then you discuss the requirements and then you start getting into the high level design. So this is the first thing that we need to understand what types of notifications the system supports. So like we can ask the interviewer, like we can ask interviewer what types of notifications our system should support, right? So these can push notification, SMS message, and email, like all those kind of notifications. And we need to know if this is a real-time system. So real-time system is like, do we need to get the notifications as soon as, like as quickly as possible? That will be the real-time system. And but interviewer might also clarify that in high workload, slight delay is acceptable, right? Because we cannot create an ideal solution where we can get the notification as quickly as it is available. Because sometimes in the high workload, the systems get slower, um, and we can expect some latency. And then we can also ask what are the supported devices. We need to support iOS devices, Android devices, and desktop devices. And then what can trigger notifications. So we need to know this, like what can trigger notifications. So these can be triggered by client applications and can also be scheduled on the server side. Um, Other than that, like we can also ask if the users will have the option to opt out of the notifications. So yes, users who choose to opt out will no longer receive notifications. And these are just some of the functional requirements that we can discuss with the interviewer to establish the design scope. And some non-functional requirements to make the system scalable. We can ask such questions like how many notifications will be sent out each day. So like since it's a highly scalable system, so definitely we will need to have really big amount of notifications that needs to be sent per day. So we can say like we have like 10 million mobile push notifications, 1 million SMS messages, and 5 million emails every day. Based on this, we can also do back of the envelope estimation. We just discussed like how we do back of the envelope estimations in previous sessions, right? So once we are done with this, then we can once we have like clarified the requirements with the interviewer and we have established this design scope, the next step usually is always to propose the high level design. So we cannot directly dive deep into the low level design. We first need to propose the high level design, like how different components of the system will work and how we will. Yes, Asad.
मैम एक्चुअल में मैं बहुत बिगिनर लेवल पे हूँ, तो मैं मेरे क्वेश्चंस कुछ जो ना वो बेसिक लेवल के हो सकते हैं, तो उसके लिए अपॉलोजी। कैन यू प्लीज डिफरेंशिएट बिटवीन पुश नोटिफिकेशन एंड ट्रिगर नोटिफिकेशन, इन दोनों में डिफरेंस क्या होता है?
अच्छा, ट्रिगर जो है ना, दिस इज समथिंग दैट कैन ट्रिगर द नोटिफिकेशन। सो लेट्स सपोज आपके पास कोई गेम ऐप है, राइट, या कोई नॉर्मल ऐप है, या लेट्स सपोज आपके पास क्लाइंट है किसी वेबसाइट के ऊपर एंड उसने कोई ऑर्डर प्लेस किया है, राइट। जब उसने ऑर्डर प्लेस किया तो दैट इज समथिंग, या लेट्स सपोज शिपमेंट उसकी जो है ना वो निकल गई है, ठीक है, ऑर्डर डिलीवर हो गया है, वट एवर कोई भी स्टेटस है ऑर्डर का, तो दैट इज समथिंग, एन इवेंट दैट ट्रिगर्स द नोटिफिकेशन, राइट। So an event that triggers the notifications and a client app that triggers the notifications, that is called the notification trigger, right? And push notification is like when we receive, when the client receives the notification on a mobile device. So trigger notification is like an event that uh, because of which the notification is triggered. So like आपके order deliver हुआ तो एक event हुआ definitely, उसकी वजह से system ने एक notification trigger किया, और अब वो notification trigger हुआ है तो definitely it needs to be sent out to the user as well, right? So once that notification is pushed to the user's device, that is called push notification. I hope you got the answer, right?
मैम पुश के बारे में थोड़ा सा डिटेल में बता दीजिएगा। क्या इसमें जस्ट हमें नोटिफिकेशन मिलता है, जिस तरह हमें व्हाट्सएप का नोटिफिकेशन मिलता है, अगर हम एप्लीकेशन यूज़ नहीं भी कर रहे,
हम्म।
एप्लीकेशन ऑफलाइन है, बंद पड़ी हुई है, हमें मोबाइल पे नोटिफिकेशन आता है तो हम उस पर क्लिक करते हैं, वो एप्लीकेशन ओपन हो जाती है, तो क्या ये पुश नोटिफिकेशन होगा? पुश का
ये
क्या मतलब है यहाँ पे?
अच्छा, पुश नोटिफिकेशन ना, इसका मैं अभी हम डिजाइन में डिस्कस करेंगे हाउ दिस यूजुअली वर्क्स। दिस इज जो आपके नोटिफिकेशंस आ रहे होते हैं ना ऐप्स के बाद, लाइक आपका मोबाइल ऑफ होता है एंड यू गेट नोटिफिकेशंस, और जो आपकी होम स्क्रीन पे नहीं, जो आपकी मोबाइल पे आपको यूजुअली नजर आ रहे होते हैं, दोज आर कॉल्ड पुश नोटिफिकेशंस, राइट। उनको आप पुश नोटिफिकेशंस कहते हैं। हाउ डू दीज आर सेंट टू दी मोबाइल डिवाइसेस, दैट वी विल डिस्कस इन दिस सिस्टम डिजाइन सेशन, कि इस तरह के सिस्टम्स कैसे बिल्ड होते हैं कि इन पुश नोटिफिकेशंस को इवन व्हेन समवन इज ऑफलाइन यू आर स्टिल गेटिंग द नोटिफिकेशंस, राइट। लाइक नॉट एग्जैक्टली ऑफलाइन, डेफिनेटली अगर आपका व्हाट्सएप, आपका इंटरनेट नहीं चल रहा, यू आर नॉट गेटिंग पुश नोटिफिकेशंस, बट एज सुन एज यू ओपन योर इंटरनेट you are going to get all of these notifications that were in the queue. We will discuss that how this happens, but yeah, these are usually the
ओके,
push notifications.
थैंक यू।
Okay, so next thing is like we have to propose the high level design. So we can have different types of notifications, right? We discussed this in previous, with the interviewer, that like what kind of notifications our system needs to support. So we need to support iOS push notification, we need to support the push notifications, SMS messages, emails, right? So and in the Apple, like in mobile push notifications, we can have iOS push notification and Android, because iOS has different way of handling push notification. They have different libraries. Android has different libraries, right? And then SMS message and email notifications are sent like handled in different ways. Like we have different third-party services, or Firebase for Android, and I think Apple push notifications for Apple. So these are different services that help us with these notifications. Yes, Asad.
मैम क्या ये एसएमएस मैसेजेस एंड ईमेल्स ये पुश नोटिफिकेशन में नहीं आते?
अच्छा, SMS मैसेजिंग ईमेल्स को हम यूजुअली पुश नोटिफिकेशन नहीं कहते। दीज आर we usually call these push notifications, जो usually आपके iOS and Androids की होती हैं, but you can probably also call these push notifications, but usually we don't use that word for these, because even if you are getting आपको emails भी अगर let's suppose आ रही हैं, right, या आपको SMS अगर आ रहा है, तो you are still getting a notification on your device, right? But probably there is because users call these push notifications because of the mechanism that is being handled on the devices. So push notification probably they call this push notification on for these like the notifications that we get from apps, right? We call these push notifications probably because Firebase APIs and your Apple push notification probably work this way. Like they are sending the notifications even if user has not subscribed for notifications. क्योंकि अगर आप WhatsApp की भी बात करें तो as long as अच्छा WhatsApp पे usually you have those options to turn off your notifications, right? So if you have turned on your notifications, then definitely those notifications will be pushed to your mobile phone. Similarly, if you are talking about emails, so if you have unsubscribed or you have opt out of the notification, then you're not getting the notifications. I'm not sure how exactly the internals of these Firebase APIs, Firebase systems work, but probably they send the notifications like probably in publish subscriber mode, like your आपकी जो क्लाइंट एप्लीकेशन है दैट इज द सब्सक्राइबर एंड आपका जो नोटिफिकेशन सिस्टम है या फायरबेस एपीआई दैट इज द पब्लिशर विच विल पब्लिश द नोटिफिकेशन टू द सब्सक्राइबर्स ऑफ टू ऑल ऑफ द सब्सक्राइबर्स जो आपके होते हैं उस नोटिफिकेशन पे जितने भी सब्सक्राइबर्स होंगे। लेट्स सपोज कोई एक अमेजोन की वेबसाइट है या उसके ऊपर कोई डील आई है लेट्स सपोज, तो जितने भी यूजर्स सब्सक्राइब्ड होंगे to that to get those kind of notifications, the notification will be pushed to those devices by the publisher is your API or server that is actually handling those notifications.
मैम एक्चुअल में ये ट्रिगर नहीं हो जाएगा क्योंकि एक इवेंट हैपन हुआ तो उसने ट्रिगर किया है नोटिफिकेशन। तो ये जो आपने अभी अमेजोन की एग्जांपल दी है तो ये उस वो भी नोटिफिकेशन हो सकता है ना ये?
Acha, trigger is something that a notification needs to be sent, right? Like an event has happened and this is the notification that needs to be sent. And उसके बाद जो push करना है notification को publisher से subscriber पे, that is a different mechanism because you have notifications available in your queue. So let's suppose कि आपकी कोई deal आई है and then you have this you know कि this event has occurred and now I have to send these notifications to all of the to the users who have subscribed to such kind of notifications or emails, right? So what happens is that आपकी वो notification will go to your queue. It will be sent it to the queue and then आपका जो publisher होगा that will be getting that notification from the queue and then publish this or push to the to all of the subscribers, right?
मैम अभी भी थोड़ी सी कंफ्यूजन है। लाइक जब ट्रिगर होता है इवेंट तो उस वक्त एक्चुअल में नोटिफिकेशन नहीं जाता, वो एक जस्ट इवेंट एक नोटिफिकेशन क्रिएट हो जाता है।
Yes,
और
yes, yes,
और
exactly. And
जब
then it is
उसको
sent to, yeah.
और जब वो सब्सक्राइबर को मिल जाता है तो उसको हम कह देते हैं ये पुश नोटिफिकेशन है।
Yes. Yes.
थैंक यू मैम।
Okay. So we have like different types of notifications and like we will in our high level design we'll discuss like we can have different types of notifications, how we can gather the contact info, because definitely if we need to send the notifications we need to get the contact info of the users, like which devices they have, like what is the user ID, what is the user email or number, mobile number, etc. And then we need to discuss what will be the notification sending or receiving flow. So if you look at the iOS push notification, then what iOS does is like we have a provider. Provider can be any app, right? And then that is using the Apple push notifications behind the scenes to send notifications to the iOS devices. So Apple push notifications is a service that is used to send notifications to the iOS devices. Providers can be providers can be any of your what should I call? These can be your we can call these publishers, right? So these can be any apps this can be WhatsApp, this can be some email service or some these kind of things, right? So or some gaming apps, right? Etc. So these will be the providers that will be using Apple push notifications to send the notifications to the iOS devices. Okay. So And provider doesn't only does this, like it actually, this is this provider at the high level we are discussing what is a provider, right? We will discuss like, because like at high level, what is a provider? It's just what it does, it builds and send notifications to the APNs, right? And so but we will discuss like, this is just not what provider, like all of this building and sending notification will not be handled inside one component. When we will discuss the low level design, we will know that there are multiple components involved in the provider, like different component for building the notifications, different component for sending the notification. But for now, we know that high level provider is something that builds and send notification requests to the APNs. So for this, it needs to gather some data as well. Probably it needs to get the device token, like unique identifier for the device to send the push notifications, right? And then it also need to get the payload, right? We will also discuss, these are some of the templates that we usually use to sending the notification. We will discuss this in the low level design, but for now, just look at that. We need some payload, we need some device token, and to get this information so that we can send the notifications to the right devices and right users. Uske alawa we'll have APNs like this APN is a remote service which is provided by Apple, and then this helps you to send the notifications to the device to the iOS devices. iOS device, you already know, it's the end client which will receive the push notifications. So this is the high level for iOS push notifications, and next component is the Android push notification. Android push notification has similar, yes.
मैम एपीएन्स के बारे में आपने बोला कि ये एक सर्विस है जो कि लाइक प्री डिफाइंड है, ये पहले से डिफाइंड है, तो इसकी मुझे समझ नहीं आई, क्या ये कोड लिखा हुआ है जिसको हम जस्ट कॉल कर सकते हैं या कोई लाइब्रेरी है
Yes,
जिसको हम?
this is a kind of library, right? Which is provided by Apple, right? This is a service. I would more precisely, I will say this is a service. Definitely इसका code है, but this is a service which is provided by Apple that these providers can use to send notifications to iOS. क्योंकि अगर आपको Firebase का पता हो, are you aware of Firebase?
यस यस।
हाँ, तो Firebase भी जो है ना सर्विस है फॉर एंड्रॉइड, राइट? So Firebase is the service to send notifications to Android devices. Similarly, Apple के लिए different service है to send notifications to Apple iOS devices. So whenever you have let's suppose you are an application developer and you develop an application, and now you need the ability to send notifications to your iOS and Android users. So you cannot use FCM to send notifications to iOS devices, क्योंकि iOS devices के ऊपर notifications can be sent only using this Apple push notification because they have different mechanisms. So you will need need to integrate these two services in your application, so that whenever you have to send the notifications, you use APN to send notifications to iOS devices and FCM to send notifications to Android devices.
Okay, ma'am, that makes sense.
Okay, so for Android, like there is similar high-level architecture. The only difference is that you're using like Firebase cloud messaging here instead of APN to send notifications to Android devices. The other high-level mechanism is same as we had for iOS push notification. Next, we have SMS message. SMS message is a different service. Like there can be some SMS service, like we can use Twilio. I'm not sure if you're aware about this, but Twilio is a service that can be used to send notifications as SMS to different kind of, like, because SMS is not bind to only Apple or like it is bind to the SIMs, right? So you can use SMS service for sending the notifications for as SMS to different devices. Similarly, for email, you have different service. So there can be email services that can be helpful in sending. So there are two kind of, like, probably you are aware of MailChimp because this is quite popular for sending email notifications. So MailChimp is a service that can be helpful in sending notifications as emails, like email notifications to the users. So the only difference is, like, for every kind of these components, we have just this thing different for every user. Okay. So now we have like defined, like so now we have yes, I said.
मैम सेंड ग्रिड, जहाँ तक मुझे याद आ रहा है हमने इसको यूज़ किया था ईमेल सेंड करने के लिए। क्या इसको ईमेल सेंड करने के लिए यूज़ करते हैं?
Yes, emails and emails भी तो एक notifications ही है ना, kind of notification when you have to send you have something to send email to your users, then you are using these SendGrid or Mailchimp for sending the emails. Here you cannot use the APNs or Firebase cloud messaging because those are used for push notifications to mobile devices. But when you have to send the emails, then you use these kind of email services to send emails to users.
बट मैम एक्चुअल में हमें तो नोटिफिकेशन सेंड करना है, तो क्या सेंड ग्रिड के थ्रू हम उसका एक नोटिफिकेशन भी सेंड कर सकते हैं ईमेल्स का?
Acha, notification is not, it's not kind कि you are only sending the notification. When you have an email, you are definitely going to get the notification, like you have got an email. अगर आपने let's suppose notifications बंद भी की हुई हैं अपनी, again you are still going to get the email. Email is not kind of, it's कि you are just going to get something on your mobile screen कि आपका mobile screen बंद पड़ा और you got this notification. Notification is not just about that thing. Notification is a full thing कि आपको जो है ना, something has happened and you received, आपको कोई email भी आई है, email is in your inbox, that is also a notification that user is being notified that something is happened or they need to do something, they have some payment or those kind of things. It's not necessary कि वो notification आपके इधर भी नजर आएगी, right? So this is what we call notification. Similarly, if you have an SMS कोई update आपको आनी है, let's suppose आपको SMS आया but आपने यहाँ notification do not disturb पे मोबाइल लगाया हुआ है, but still you are getting the SMS, you are still getting SMS notification, you are still getting you इसको नोटिफिकेशन को ऐसे ना आप समझें कि यू जस्ट हैव टू गेट दिस like on your mobile screen. Probably it's not visible on your mobile screen, right? It is something that you receive in your inbox, in your email, or in your apps, right?
मैम एक्चुअल में हम एक ऐसी सर्विस लिख रहे हैं जो कि हमें एसएमएस हमारे मोबाइल में भेज देगी या ईमेल से हमारे मोबाइल में सेंड कर देगी। तो
Yeah.
नोटिफिकेशन जो है ना, जो हमारे डिवाइसेस है उनका बाय डिफ़ॉल्ट सिस्टम नोटिफिकेशन जनरेट कर देगा, ऐसे ही।
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
और मैम यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन है कि जिस तरह आपने ऊपर बताया एपीएन जो है एप्पल जो नोटिफिकेशन है और फायर बेस है, तो हम यहाँ पे तो सिर्फ सर्विसेज यूज़ कर रहे हैं सेंड करने के लिए। तो एक्चुअल में जब हमें ये बोला जाता है कि हमने एक नोटिफिकेशन सिस्टम डिज़ाइन करना है, तो हम उसमें जो चीज़ डिफरेंट करते हैं वो क्या है? लाइक हम तो सिर्फ सर्विसेज कॉल कर रहे हैं, उनको डाटा प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं, वो आगे से टारगेट सब्सक्राइबर को सेंड कर रहे हैं। तो
नहीं नहीं
एक्चुअल में
नहीं, हम सिंपली नोटिफिकेशन सिस्टम इज नॉट दैट simple to be honest, like especially if it is on large scale when you have to send millions of notifications per day. We will discuss this in like next level design, like what exactly we are building, right? But we need something that can be helpful in sending notifications to the users, like to end devices. तो हमने जैसे इसमें डिस्कस किया कि हमारा नोटिफिकेशन सिस्टम शुड बी एबल टू हैंडल मतलब पुश नोटिफिकेशंस भी हैंडल कर सकता हो, ईमेल्स भी सेंड कर सकता हो, एसएमएस भी सेंड कर सकता हो, राइट? These kind of things. And how we will build these, we will discuss that in our high level and low level design, right? So this is a full distributed system that we are like building, right?
ओके मैम।
Okay. सो अच्छा, अब ये नोटिफिकेशन सिस्टम जो है ना, लाइक दिस कैन बी यूज्ड बिकॉज दिस इज अ डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड सिस्टम। लाइक अगर आप बात करें big companies की, right? Like how can I give an example of a big notification system? Let's suppose कि Gmail पे कोई change आती है, right? Because sometimes you get some notifications कि Gmail has made some changes or these kind of things, या इस तरह की sometimes आपको notifications आती हैं. So that is a very large scale notification that is being sent to billions of users, right? Because Gmails पे तो I don't know कितने trillions of, I don't know how many users are there, right? Even one user has multiple Gmail accounts and those kind of things. Then how Google makes sure that this kind of notification is sent to billions or trillions of users in real time, right? जरूरी नहीं कि रियल टाइम में आपको इतनी ज्यादा नोटिफिकेशंस में डिलेज भी आ सकते हैं, बट डेफिनेटली हाउ लाइक these big companies make sure कि इतनी ज्यादा नोटिफिकेशंस इतने सारे यूजर्स को वो रिलायबली कैसे डिलीवर करेंगे, राइट? So that is what notification systems do. That is what we discuss, how we design such kind of large scale systems that can handle like such kind of big traffic, right? So this is what we usually do in system design interviews. Normally, we usually are not talking about small scale systems. We are talking about large scale systems with a very big user base. Okay. Yes.
मैम अगर हम इसको रिफ्रेश करें तो हम ये चाह रहे हैं कि हाउ गूगल कैन सेंड बिलियंस ऑफ ईमेल्स टू द यूजर इन रियल टाइम, एक्चुअली में यही हम कह रहे हैं ना।
Yep. Yep.
ओके मैम।
Okay, next thing is like how we will be getting the contact information. Because when we have to send the notifications, we definitely need to get the contact information before we can send the notifications, because we need to know where exactly we need to, or to which exact users we need to send the notifications. For that purpose, we need to gather this information. Okay. So what we need we need to probably get the device tokens. We probably need to get the phone numbers, email addresses of the users, and those kind of things. Then how we get this kind of information? So for that, you have like API servers available for that. So API servers have like information stored, because whenever a user is subscribed, let's suppose अगर Gmail बनाई है किसी user ने, तो उसकी email जो है that will be stored inside this DB. उसकी information will be stored inside this database. या किसी user ने अपना mobile number register करवाया है for notifications, that will be stored in this database. Similarly, किसी user ने किसी app के ऊपर register किया है, तो उसकी device token will be stored in this database. Those kind of informations will be stored in the database. And then what API servers will be doing, API servers will, like, user will install an app or signs up or creates a new email, those kind of things, or registers a new mobile number. Then API servers will be storing that information inside the database. So and definitely we need here a load balancer, because this is not only about, we are not talking about a small system, we are talking about a big system. So there can be hundreds of or thousands of users who might be signing up at the same time, and then we have to make sure that all of this information is reliably and quickly stored inside the database. Because if we do not have a scalable system with load balancers, then we will not be able to, like, the system will not be reliable or performant. For load balancer, I will recommend, if you haven't like studied or you do not know what a load balancer does, then I highly recommend कि आप मेरे previous कुछ sessions को, first के two three sessions को देखें कि how we usually design large scale systems and what are the core components in the system design components. So load balancer is one of that core component that we use for scalability. Okay, so database can have this kind of design where we can have two tables. One is for user, one for device. We might have more tables as well, but for now, let's just keep things simple that we might have these two tables. User table will have the information stored for users, like it can have email, user ID, country code, phone number, and device has the information for devices, where we can have the device token, user ID, and when the user last logged in. These kind of information can be stored inside the device. So this is what this is the high level design for the contact information gathering flow. Next thing we discussed was like how we be sending or receiving the notifications. So what here happen, what we do here is like, so here we have this notification system. We discussed that this notification system should be able to send notifications to iOS devices, Android devices, send SMS to the device, to numbers, and send emails to different email addresses. So this is what a notification system does: integrates with these third-party services to send notifications with different kind of for different purposes, right? And this is the what notification system does. And here what sends the notification to this notification system. So uske liye we have these services, right? So so these can be the services. इस ये triggers हैं, right? जो हम अभी discuss कर रहे थे ना कि these are the triggers, these are the services that can trigger the notification, right? That can trigger an event that can create a notification. And once these services trigger, like create a notification based on some event, then these will be sent to the notification system. And now notification system will identify कि ये किस किस्म की notification है और मुझे इसको कहाँ पे भेजना है. Do I have to send it to iOS, mobile device? Is it a push notification for Android? Is it an SMS that needs to be sent to the SMS service, or is it an email that needs to be sent to the email service? So based on this, this notification system identifies and sends it to the appropriate third-party service. So, and we do not necessarily need a one service, like it is not necessary that we have only one service here, because we can have multiple services. हम यहाँ पे पूरा notification system build कर रहे हैं. So this can be an app, this can be a cron job जिसमें schedule हुई हुई है कुछ के after sometimes, let's suppose after 1 hour I need to send some reminder to the users that is some scheduled cron job, right? Or it can be some maybe some small microservices on a website. So these kind of different things, these services are those kind of different things that can trigger different kind of events, right? That can trigger different kind of notifications on different events. So an example of this could be like you have a billing service, right? So you have a billing service and you have to send notifications, reminders to the payment reminders to the customers that they have a payment to due, or there can be a shopping website that can tell the users that they have their package will be delivered at this time, or their package, what is the status of their current package, is this in delivery, or it's still not shipped yet, or these kind of notifications. So these are different kind of services that can have these notifications, that can trigger these notifications. Okay. What is notification system? This is the central system, right? This is the central system that will be used to send and receive the notification. So whenever a service triggers the notification, it will generate the notification and then it will send to the notification system. And then this notification system will send it to the appropriate third-party service. For now, we can assume, like for simplicity, we can assume that right now we only have one notification system server, right? One notification system server, like only one server where we have this notification system. So this system, what it will be doing, it will be providing the APIs for all of these services. So when you are, like you said that you used MailChimp, SendGrid to send emails. So definitely use emails, like APIs to send emails. So this is what this notification system does. It just has those APIs, access to those APIs, and then it uses those APIs to send notifications to different services. So this is the centerpiece, like it has the APIs, and then it use that. Then it uses those APIs and builds the payload for notifications to send. So then we have third-party services we already discussed, like these are the services that we like. For email, we have email services. For SMS, we have SMS services, Twilio, or some other kind of services, right? And users these devices are the end users, right? And but the problem with this design is, like we said, that we have only one notification system in this design. What could be the problem with this? First thing is the single point of failure. What happens if this notification system server is down? So none of the services will be able to send the notifications to any of the users because the system is down. So our system needs to be reliable, that if this one notification system is down, we have some backup systems to redirect these. So if we have these like replicas kind of things, different servers, like if we are using different servers and notification systems for sending or receiving notification systems. So even if this primary server is down, we can redirect our traffic to these available servers, so that our system does not goes down and we are still able to, because we have to send the notifications in real time. So one problem with this design is that this has single point of failure issue. Second thing is second problem with this is, like, it is definitely hard to scale. So because what we are doing is we have only one server where we are handling everything, and within this one server we have all of the APIs, and we have like database is also within this one server. Caches are also within this one server. Currently, probably we do not have the caches. So this is very difficult to scale the systems where we have integrated everything where we have everything defined within one server, right? So what we do in those cases, like definitely if everything is integrated in one server, it is difficult to scale. We cannot, like if we have web servers separately. Right now what we have is like notification system has web server within this server, like, and database is also within this same server. Right, server means a machine, right? So we have, like, it is on the same machine. So if we want to scale, then we will not be able to add new web servers. Adding new web servers, it's kind of difficult, right? Adding new databases, like, or sharding the databases is not that easy. These are these are the things that we discussed in our initial system design sessions, कि जिसमें हमने डिस्कस किया था कि किस तरह से हम अपनी जो है ना वेब सर्वर्स को कैसे स्केल कर सकते हैं, how we can scale our databases, how we do sharding and partitioning, those kind of things. These are some basic knowledge that we have in our initial system design interview. So you can just go through those if you want to know like how we scale our big systems. So the thing is like the problem with this design is that it is hard to scale, and there is another problem is the performance bottleneck, because what we are doing is we are using only one server here to send the notifications. So we are only using this one server here to send the notification. So what if we have, like we already discussed above, that we can have 10 million of push notifications per day, 1 million of emails per day. So if all of the traffic is coming on this same server, right, then definitely this server will have a lot to process, and this will get slower, which will cause performance bottleneck. There might be a lot of notifications that will need to wait for previous notifications to be sent to these services. So definitely this will cause a big performance bottleneck, and this is not a good design for large scale systems. So these are some of the problems that we identified with this proposed high level design, and how we can improve this. We will discuss that next. So how we can improve our design to be more scalable and reliable and fault tolerant. So for this, what we do is, this is the new design that we propose. So what we do here is, like, we have these notification servers that can, like, we do not have only one notification server here now. We have multiple notification servers which have we are handling, which have the APIs that prepare the payload and send the notification to the proper third-party service. So what do these notification servers do? These are sorry. So these notification servers will now provide the APIs for services to send the notifications, and these will also make sure that these APIs are only accessible internally, that only the services are able to use those APIs, not the end users or some spammers. So and then these notification servers will also perform some basic validations, because whenever you have to send the notifications, you perform some basic validations, like if the emails that we are sending the notifications to, are these the legit emails, or do these email even exist? Are these phone numbers correct? And those kind of validations. And other thing is, like we have separated the database. We have moved the database out of this server. Notification system के server से हम लोगों ने database को separate करके एक separate server पे we have hosted the database on a different server than on the notification system server. This is what we did, and we also added cache, and for cache we also added cache on different server. Instead of putting in the database server or notification system server, we have the caches on cache server. So now we have everything separated out. So what we do is what notification service does now, like it will query whenever it has a notification to send to. First, it will need to gather information, right? Collect information to get the emails or some other data. So it will query the database to get that information from user information or device information, and then it will prepare the payload, and then it will send the notification to the message queue. Okay, previously we just discussed that we will send the notification to these APIs. Through APIs, we will send these notifications directly to these third-party services. But that design was not scalable. To make it scalable, what we do is we introduce messaging queues. Messaging queues के ऊपर भी I think we discussed we had a small discussion in our previous सेशंस। तो मैसेज मैसेज क्यू क्या करती है कि मैसेज क्यू के अंदर आपके पास कोई नोटिफिकेशन जो आती है, दोज आर बीइंग क्यूड इनसाइड दिस क्यू। सो व्हाट हैपेंस कि अगर जो भी नोटिफिकेशंस आएंगी, इफ दीज आर द एप्पल पुश नोटिफिकेशंस, दीज विल बी sent to this iOS push notification messaging queue. We have different messaging queue for different services, right? So similarly, Android push notifications से related जो भी होंगी notifications, these will be sent to Android PN messaging queue. SMS वाली इसमें आ जाएंगी, SMS वाली में event email sir queue वाली इसमें आ जाएंगी, email वाली में. So once you have all of these notifications inside these messaging queues, then next thing is like you have add these workers here after these messaging queues. So what these workers do, they just fetch the notification from the queue पे जो भी front पे notification पड़ी होगी, worker will fetch that notification and then it will send that notification to the like if it is the worker for this iOS, then it will send the notification to the Apple push notification and like this. So you can see that this is a very scalable system, scalable design, because अब इसमें आप क्या कर रहे हैं कि you see कि you have like parallel processing. अगर आपके पास notifications आ रही हैं, emails, SMS आ रहे हैं, साथ में push notifications आ रही हैं मोबाइल डिवाइसेस के लिए, तो you do not need to wait. अगर आपके पास notification system में यहाँ पे आपने सब कुछ हैंडल किया हुआ था अगर प्रीवियस डिजाइन में, तो अगर आपके पास डिफरेंट काइंड्स ऑफ नोटिफिकेशंस आ रही हैं तो हो सकता है कि आपकी ईमेल नोटिफिकेशंस को वेट करना पड़ रहा होता for push notifications to be sent. So which would have delayed your email notifications or SMS notifications. But this is very distributed system and everything is being done in parallel fashion. So these notifications, जो आपकी push iOS की notifications, Android की notifications या SMS की notifications, these are all independent from other notifications, right? And can be sent in real time. And again, you see we can scale all of any of these components. हम मजीद notification servers यहाँ पे add कर सकते हैं. We can add more database servers, we can add more cache servers, we can add more messaging queues, more workers, and to make it more scalable. Yes, Asad.
मैम इसमें जो आपने मैसेजेस सर्विस ये सर्वर बनाया है, सॉरी सर्विसेज नहीं सर्वर,
Hmm.
इसमें हम जो डेटाबेस और कैशे सर्वर इसके साथ कनेक्ट किए हुए हैं,
Hmm.
तो ये यहाँ पे क्यों ज़रूरी है? मैं तो अज्यूम कर रहा था कि हमें जो डाटा आएगा सर्विस वन से सारा
Hmm.
उसका डाटा होगा, और यहाँ पे ये जो सर्वर नोटिफिकेशन सर्वर सर्वर है ये जस्ट उसको पुश कर देगा, इसको किसी डाटा को फैच करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, सारा डाटा जो है ना वो सर्विसेज से आ रहा है। तो
Hmm.
एक्चुअल में ये पहला क्वेश्चन ये है कि ये यहाँ पे बता दीजिएगा कि डीबी की यहाँ पे ज़रूरत क्यों है?
अच्छा, नहीं, डेटा जरूरी नहीं है कि सर्वर से आ रहा हो. जैसे हमने अभी जीमेल की एग्जांपल दी ना कि जीमेल हैज सम नोटिफिकेशन, कोई उसने चेंज किया जीमेल में, एंड इट हैज टू सेंड दैट नोटिफिकेशन टू बिलियंस ऑफ यूजर्स, राइट? सो व्हाट विल डू कि दिस इज द जीमेल सर्विस, right? So it has that some kind of notification. It will send that notification to your notification system. अब notification system का काम क्या है कि it has to fetch the information कि मुझे जो है ना ईमेल जो है ना वो fetch करनी है डेटाबेस से. ठीक है, तो इट विल फेच दोज ईमेल्स फ्रॉम द डेटाबेस एंड नाउ इट विल प्रिपेयर कि मैंने ये सारी ईमेल्स जो है ना मतलब ये भेजनी है ईमेल्स एस यूजर को. तो इट विल प्रिपेयर द पेलोड्स एंड देन इट विल सेंड that too because this is related to email, so it will send that to this email queue. अच्छा, तो फर्स्ट थिंग इज लाइक दिस कि आपको इंफॉर्मेशन जो है, क्योंकि जरूर सर्विस के थ्रू यू डोंट गेट ऑल ऑफ दैट इंफॉर्मेशन, लाइक यू कैन नॉट गेट every single user information from service. You just get what you get कि एक notification something has happened, कोई event trigger हुआ है जिसकी वजह से कोई notification create हुई है, and right now service does not have that information कि इसने किस किस users को वो information मतलब कौन कौन से users हैं जिनको information भेजनी है. That information is collected here at notification system component because it will get कि ये users इस service के ऊपर, या let's suppose Amazon की वेबसाइट पे कौन कौन से यूजर्स रजिस्टर्ड हैं, राइट? सो वो दोज काइंड ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन दोज विल बी accessed from the database and that will be accessed from notification system and you will not get that from service.
ओके मैम, अच्छा अब दूसरा नंबर पे ये है कि जो ईमेल्स और एसएमएस इनकी एपीआईज जो है ना वो हमारे पास नोटिफिकेशन सर्वर में मौजूद हैं, और यहाँ पे हमने एक ऐसी एपीआई लिखी हुई है जो कि हमारे इन सर्विसेज पे नोटिफिकेशन पुश करेगा, और इस यहाँ पे जो एपीआईज बनी हुई है नोटिफिकेशन सर्वर पे, इनकी एक्सेस सर्विसेज के पास है, ठीक है। तो
हम्म
इन केस अगर सर्विसेज इतने ज़्यादा नोटिफिकेशन भेज देती हैं कि ये जो हमारा नोटिफिकेशन सर्वर है,
हम्म
यहाँ पे ही बिलियंस ऑफ रिक्वेस्ट आ जाती हैं। तो
हम्म
अ, यहाँ हमने आगे तो वर्कर्स लगा दिए हैं iOS पीएन के बाद, जो ये पुश करने हुए करते वक्त। लेकिन यहाँ पे हम इस चीज़ को किस तरह से हैंडल कर रहे हैं? क्या यहाँ पे कोई एल्गोरिदम होता है या जस्ट ये एपीआईज ही हैं, तो हमने इसी को ही ऑप्टिमाइज करना होता है अगर इसी सर्वर पे बहुत ज़्यादा रिक्वेस्ट आ जाती हैं?
अच्छा, इसमें हम क्या करते हैं, व्हाट हैपेंस इन दिस केस, कि जब भी स्केलेबल करना है ना, अब हमने क्या किया कि हमने ना पिछले डिजाइन में हमने क्या किया था कि हमने डेटाबेस को भी इसी के ऊपर सर्वर पे रखा हुआ था, नोटिफिकेशन सर्वर पे। बट इन दिस डिजाइन व्हाट वी डिड कि हमने अपनी एप्लीकेशन कोड को जो है ना, वी हैव सेपरेटेड दैट फ्रॉम आवर डेटाबेस। डेटाबेस का सर्वर हमने सेपरेट कर दिया, कैशे का सर्वर सेपरेट कर दिया, एप्लीकेशन लॉजिक से रिलेटेड जो वेब सर्वर है उसको हमने सेपरेट कर दिया, राइट। So now what happens is now you can, what you can do is you can scale these servers, because these are independent of databases or caches. You can scale these servers. So अगर आपकी billions of requests आती हैं ना, तो what you do is you place a load balancer in front of these services. So this is the load balancer, and then you do horizontal scaling to add more notification servers here. Like you can add more notification servers. Now what will happen, this load balancer will distribute the traffic based on the load on these servers. So हो सकता है इस सर्वर के ऊपर अभी लोड सिर्फ 10 रिक्वेस्ट आ रही हूँ, इसके ऊपर 1000 रिक्वेस्ट आ रही हूँ, लाइक दिस। सो व्हाट दिस लोड बैलेंसर विल डू नाउ, इट विल जो भी नई नोटिफिकेशंस या जो भी न्यू रिक्वेस्ट आएंगी लोड बैलेंसर के ऊपर, इट विल सेंड दी send those based on the load on different servers. So probably it can send 100 of notifications here and just one or two here, because this already has enough too much load. So to avoid overloading the servers and distribute the traffic against among multiple servers, we can do this horizontal scaling here.
ओके मैम, थैंक यू।
And I will recommend कि इन चीज़ों को अंडरस्टैंड करने के लिए ना, यू कैन गो थ्रू फर्स्ट फ्यू सेशंस, मे बी 3 or 4 सेशंस, वेयर वी डिस्कस्ड कि हम किस तरह से, हमने वहाँ पे बिल्डिंग ब्लॉक्स डिस्कस किए थे कि हम सिस्टम डिज़ाइन के लाइक हाउ वी कैन बिल्ड स्केलेबल सिस्टम्स में कौन कौन से कंपोनेंट्स, लोड बैलेंसर्स का क्या काम होता है, हॉरिजॉन्टल स्केलिंग क्या होती है, वर्टिकल स्केलिंग, डेटाबेस शार्डिंग एंड दोस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स।
ओके ओके मैम।
ओके, so like so like we discussed that this is how our scalable design, high level design of our scalable notification system will look like. So we discussed like we have notification servers which will provide APIs, will carry basic validations, will query the database, will push notifications to messaging queues for parallel processing. And like an example of API could be like because these can be post endpoints. So like if this is the endpoint for sending SMS, then it can has this request for I think you might already be familiar with these payloads and HTTP verbs and those things, right? Or REST APIs. So this is some example that is being implemented within your notification servers. Then cache will have the cache will actually keep the will cache the user information, device information. Also cache की जरूरत हमें क्यों है, क्योंकि we do not want to overload our whenever we are designing large scale systems, we always prefer to use caches to avoid sending repetitive requests to the database. So database से अगर हमने एक user की information fetch की है, तो नेक्स्ट टाइम अगर हम उससे यूजर की इन्फॉर्मेशन दोबारा फेच करनी है, वी विल नॉट गो बैक एंड क्यूरी द डेटाबेस अगेन, बिकॉज यू नो कि क्यूरिंग is a resource intensive process. Queuing जो है takes some time. It has to scan the different tables, perform joins and those kind of things. So we do not want to do that. What we do is we cache the results in the cache, and whenever we have to get the same information again, we can get that from the cache. And this will actually reduce the latency and avoid sending more requests to the databases. Okay, so we have caches, and then we have message queues, and we discussed that these will remove the dependencies between components, because like now the SMS notifications are independent, email notifications are independent, and those kind of things. And secondly, messaging queues are also helpful when we have to send a lot of we have billions of notifications to send. So what messaging queues does, because अगर हम messaging queues का component बीच में नहीं डालेंगे तो it will become really difficult for us to scale again. अच्छा, अब जब हमने यहाँ में मैसेजिंग क्यूज डाली है ना, तो लेट्स सपोज इफ यू हैव again let's just talk about the Gmail use case. तो Gmail has billions of notifications और वो सारी notifications यहाँ पर क्यू में आ गई। अब क्योंकि यहाँ पे भी अब हम इसको स्केलेबल कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि अब नोटिफिकेशन सर्वर के पास बिलियंस ऑफ नोटिफिकेशंस आ रही हैं। मतलब अगर हमारा ये स्केलेबल सिस्टम था, वी हैव मल्टीपल नोटिफिकेशन सर्वर्स एंड दोज नोटिफिकेशन सर्वर्स आर नाउ like preparing the payload and then sending those notifications, sending those here, right, on this messaging queue. अगर हमारे पास एक messaging queue का, तो again this messaging queue will be filled very quickly, ठीक है। तो what we do again now, कि based on the traffic we put a load balancer here, and then we can add a lot of multiple messaging queues here to distribute the traffic into multiple messaging queues. So now आपके पास ये भी this is also horizontally scalable, तो आपका messaging queue component will be horizontally scalable। और now जब आपने more messaging queues यहाँ पे ऐड किए हैं, तो again आपके workers भी again you can again put load balancers here, and then you can add more workers for each, probably to get to fetch the notifications from, to fetch the messages from different, because now you have, this is a scalable system, you have multiple messaging queues here. So what you do is now you have multiple workers. So this first worker can get from here, you have a load balancer, and then first worker can get messages from this queue, second can get from this queue, and so on. So this way you like make your system scalable. Okay. Then we also talked about the third-party services. We just know that we need to integrate those, and these are the end users, right? Yeah, I think for now we have like we can end the session because the 3 p.m. हो गए हैं. Like we will resume this tomorrow.